Right, and we are back. Welcome to another edition of After the West on Wednesday, April 21st, the day after 420. So I hope y'all got all them clouds out the way. Out the way. Also, it's a good day to be outside. So get outside.
Man.
It's been
the
nice.
past couple of days have been lovely, man. Spring's coming in very nicely.
Yeah, I just don't trust this New England weather because next thing you know, we might have another snowstorm. Like,
and where we are in the city, we're pretty close by the water, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust
Your
it.
cool is cold to us.
But I was outside yesterday, so I was out there for like an hour, shot around, saw these two little girls running suicide at the court, which was interesting because they were playing. And then next thing I know, they're running suicide. I'm like, oh, okay. And they had to be no older than probably 7 or 8.
Hey, somebody's instilling some hard work into them because that's the last thing we're doing.
Especially at that age.
Suicide.
I ain't want no suicides unless a coach tells me at that age.
Exactly. So, hey.
Oh, man. You know, a team that's probably been running a lot of suicides, the Suns, man. This is a team that, we starting off the show with the Suns because nobody's really talking about these guys and their chances of making it a deep run to in the postseason because of the way they've been playing the past like 6 games. I mean, they've won 5 out of their last 6, and they've beaten all the good teams too. It's not like they've been just beating some of the the lowly teams, but they've beaten some of the good teams in the league too. These guys are playing well.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule. I don't see many L's in like the past 2 months.
Yeah.
I see like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost 5 games in the past 2 months, so they're definitely making strides to be one of the better teams, in the Western Conference. But I feel like people aren't really talking about them because it's a year one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be a fluke. It could be a year, just a great streak. Because Phoenix hasn't been Phoenix since like Nash has been there, so it's one of those, like, I feel like the NBA, you have to be good for like a year or 2 before they really start talking about you in that, in that realm with like the Lakers and the rest of the teams right now. Because who knows? I feel like the NBA is kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
The thing that they got going is they're completely healthy. They're one of the more healthier teams in the league. Because if you look at the Lakers, They're two guys. They've been out for a while. I mean, they're planning to return soon, but they've been out for a while. The Clippers, they always have guys in and out of the lineups. The Jazz, Donovan Mitchell just hurt his ankle a couple days ago. These guys, they haven't really had guys miss too many games,
and too, how you talking about how they've been on the streak. If you notice in these wins in the last 5 games they won, they've had different leading scorers compared to Booker being damn near leading scorer the whole entire season.
Yeah.
Ayton's been the leading scorer in 2 games. Carter, so they've been finding. I want to say the coach is getting a better understanding of his players.
Yeah.
And getting everybody a better feel for the ball because there's no reason why Booker should be a leading scorer every single game if you have that much talent on your team.
And before, like years before, we seen Booker where had the ball in his hand so much and he took a lot of shots. It kind of shy. It kind of had a lot of guys' game hampered because of that. Now with Chris Paul, Booker don't have to be the ball handler. He don't have to be the creator or everything. Booker could just, when we need a bucket, we give it to him. But on the other end, Deandre Ayton, he's another guy that's made improvements in his second year. He's like a walking double-double now, and he plays defense too. Like, you can't coach height.
Nah, you definitely can. What I was getting towards was DeAndre Ayton is coming to his own.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say, basically.
Yeah. And you just look at their squad. They just have a deep team with a lot of guys who could do different things. I mean, Etuan Moore is one of my favorite players in the league, and he's coming off the bench, and he's just a veteran. And anytime he comes on the court, he just does the right thing all the time for the second unit. So, when Chris Paul sits down, or when Booker sits down, he could just go and lead the offense because he's such one of the most underrated veterans in the league.
Yeah, I think everyone knows their role on that team and nobody's fighting for the spotlight. Everybody knows Booker is the man.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton is coming into his own, and Chris Paul is the general.
Yeah.
And everybody else falls in line.
Yeah. So right now they're 41-16 on the season. There's about 15 games left. And don't know what's happening with the teams below them because they're all suffering injuries, so they're gonna have guys in and out of the lineup. But if you have home court advantage with a young team, we know young guys play way better at home in the postseason than they do on the road. So this is good for them, and it's also somebody said it's always interesting when the NBA is always more interesting when certain teams are good, and Phoenix is one of them teams. Like when they're good, the NBA is a lot interesting with the storylines.
Growing up, I was a huge fan of Phoenix because of Barkley.
Yeah,
and they never won a championship, but they were just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson, Dan Molly, I can name almost the whole team.
Yeah, it's because they was that high-powered, fast-paced team, and not a lot of teams were playing like that.
Yeah, man. The atmosphere, uniforms are cool.
Yeah.
Just different look, especially when we come from plain old green and white. They finally changing things, but you see Phoenix, it's like, ooh, like they got black uniforms, they got all this stuff. It's just, and they had the gorilla mascot.
Oh yeah, the gorilla mascot who kept did the best halftime shows.
Oh man, so yeah.
So the Suns are definitely a team to watch for. All right, these guys kind of been hitting their stride the past couple months. The Clippers, I think they got like a little streak going, especially shooting behind the arc. I think they've had like 5 or 6 games. The past 5 or 6 games have been shooting over 40%. They got another win last night, and that addition to Rondo, it seemed like all these other guys are just doing a lot more than they were doing a little bit before when Lou was there and all that. It's just weird.
Well, because like granted, I love Lou Williams, but when he's on the floor, he's gonna put it up.
Yeah.
He might find you, but most likely he's putting it up. Rondo's the total opposite.
Yeah.
He's trying to find you, more or less putting it up.
Yeah.
So it just allows guys to, stay ready, get open. Just all they gotta do is just make shots now. And Paul George is playing like people expect him to play.
Yeah.
I think him and Kawhi kind of switching roles as in Kawhi doesn't need plays really random for him. He kind of just does his own thing.
Yeah.
And George kind of needs to have things ran through him. Needs to, I want to say, shoot at a volume level. Mm-hmm. And it's showing that, it's not. I want to say your team's in a better space when Paul George is playing better plays.
And he doesn't take terrible shots. He always takes great shots, and he's quite efficient too. He might take a lot of shots, but he's gonna make the majority of them. And Kawhi doesn't. He don't really need that many shots because he gets to the line a lot.
Yeah, and I think George got a lot of flack because he's not the type of player to just come right into your organization and just flourish right away. Mm-hmm. He needs to be comfortable. Yeah. He's one of those players. He just needs to be in a rhythm. Needs to be comfortable in the setting that he's in to flourish, compared to like LeBron, who just comes in there, changes everything just because of who he is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, once George once he understands the system, that's when he does way better. That even happened in OKC his second year. I think that was. They talked about him getting MVP his second year in OKC because he was just he was more comfortable in it that second year.
I mean, everybody's not a machine. Like, in generations, even Jordan, granted, he stayed with that one organization. Yeah. But we don't even know if he was that type of player to just jump from franchise to franchise, completely change how they are coming out the gate. He had to go through the maturations, and granted, he's a stone cold killer on the court. He had some bad games. Yeah. Granted, he didn't have, I want to say, certain blunders in the playoffs, but, each person's different. But at the end of the day, in order to play your best basketball, you got to be comfortable. You got to feel wanted in the organization you're playing for.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and looking at Paul George's number, he's like almost at 50, 40, 90. 48% from the field, 43% from 3, 86% from the line just this season. It's like... It's like you can't ask for much more than that, and you see what some of the role guys, the stuff they've been doing, like Terrence Mann, low product, Massachusetts product.
Word up.
He's taken a step forward in his game because last year he wasn't getting too many minutes. Now this year he's getting more minutes, and he's one of those glue guys off the bench. Him and Marcus, I think Marcus Morris is a starter, but him and Morris are two guys that have really been keeping this team afloat.
Well, for one, coaching staff changed. Yeah. So, with Tyronn Lue, right? Yeah. All right, so Tyronn Lue probably sees some things a little differently than obviously Doc Rivers because there's no reason why Terrence Mann wasn't playing last year due to his length, size, and what he can do on the court. So, different coach has a different vision, and it's working out. Yeah.
And then when you go into playoffs, because the playoffs, the rotation changes. They go like 7. Each team goes 7 or 8 deep. You got a rotation of Mann, George, Reggie Jackson, Zubac Morris, Kawhi, and then you got Rondo coming off the bench, and you could switch whoever you want coming off the bench. So it's like they have a good amount of guys that they could rotate depending on the series, depending on who they match up with the series. And then you also look at guys like Patrick Patterson and Nick Batum. Like those guys, veteran guys that know what to do, that know how to play their role. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't think they might not. We don't know what's gonna happen in the postseason, but we shouldn't expect what happened, like the complete collapse that happened last year, to happen again, because they seem more. This team just seemed more in tune than last year's team. Last year's team was a little bit too much bickering, like that they didn't talk about.
Well, I mean, wasn't last year's team the first year they were together?
Yeah.
So that's always, it's always going to be growing pains with that.
Yep.
Especially in the most crucial times. You want to see what those people are made of, and just being around each other, and then having the summer grin. I don't know how much they were around each other during COVID, but I'm sure they had Zoom conferences and meetings as a team. So you get to learn more about your teammates and things like that. And just more time together just helps.
Yeah, definitely, and I think they just all are happy they're not confined in a bubble.
And two, once again, you have a coach who played in the newer era of of basketball.
Yeah.
And it's not this era, but he played against AI.
Yeah.
Got stepped over. So meaning he was competing.
Yeah.
Doc, a little outdated compared to these guys. So,
Just had to bring that up.
I'm an AI guy. I legit watched that live. Like,
oh my god.
I just what's funny? I seen some person on Instagram. They did like the alternate version. They had Tyro stepping over the AI.
Yeah, they got that.
I hope he got that paid.
No, they roasted that dude though. Oh man, social media came for that dude's life. Okay, the Nets. The Nets. I don't think we'll ever see these guys, all three of them, on the court at the same time. Because once again, some more injuries. James Harden, apparently he got a setback with his injury, so he was on schedule to come back in a couple weeks, but now I think they're gonna hold him off until maybe like the last couple weeks of the season or the postseason. And then Durant, he had a thigh contusion, which I think he might have re-aggravated the hamstring, and they're just saying thigh contusion because the way he was holding it, and I think it was the hamstring, but it happened on Sunday against the Heat, so he's out again. So these guys, this might just be another case of what happened to the Clippers last year too, because they never got a chance to play together like those guys last year, to play together for a good chunk of the season, and we're seeing the same thing with the Nets. It's like they don't have enough games together.
Only thing with the Nets compared to the Clippers is the Nets got 3 killers.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Like the Nets are a pickup team.
Yeah.
7-game series, they're healthy. 7-game series. I don't care what issues they got on the court. They still got to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already seen, like, when these three are on the floor together, it's just it's pick your poison. Like, who do you want to stop and who's gonna kill you? Yeah, but they just need to stay healthy. That's the biggest worries about these guys, because they're so.
I'm calling bluffs. I think Nash and the Nets, playing possum a little bit, playing good poker. Yeah, Durant get a little Charlie horse in his thigh. Yeah, contusion. Yeah, sit up for like 3 weeks. Also, remember, he's coming back from an Achilles injury. Yeah. So we don't need him having any additional injuries to those legs. Yeah, that's because once you start limping a certain way, he's 7 feet tall, 6'11", whatever he wants to be called. We'll call you that. Yeah. You 7 feet tall. I don't know what them limbs are like. Yeah. So, I just feel like you're trying to be precautious because he's coming back. He hasn't had a full year back. Definitely. And then the other guys, they are also investments. So, you gotta make sure you put the best product out there in crucial times, which is the playoffs. Yeah, and we've seen, we've seen how they play when all three aren't on the floor together. It's just seeing when those three all get on the floor together, because I think the few games that they all play together, I think James Harden was getting close to like 20 assists a game and giving you like 20 points. Yeah. So, and two, you spend that much money on a product. Yeah. You ain't trying to have, you're not trying to mess it up. So I just feel like you're just trying to put the best product out there when it's needed. Definitely, and they've already said that they're not even too worried about where they are seated in the playoffs. It's just like once the playoff comes, they're not too worried about where they're seated. Yeah, when you look at your roster, you're just like we could be the 7th seed. The only thing I don't like about that is, granted, fans aren't in full capacity till next season, but what about the 1 or 2 fans that are finally able to come to a game and they see you in dress clothes.
Yeah,
on the bench. Like, that's tough.
that's what I thought. I was looking at tickets for the game. And I was like, well, no.
It's like playing scratch.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Oh, you ain't know how you suit up.
It was that, and then I was looking at those prices. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It crazy?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think maybe because the ones I was looking at, maybe because they were playing the Warriors. I'm like, the Warriors aren't that good. So why are these prices like this? But I was like,
COVID prices, man.
Yo, yeah, it was
supposed to be on sale.
Yeah, it was not. It was
On the regular sale. Double sale.
You know all that money they lost from last year. They're trying to make it back some way.
And unfortunately, we got the people out here that'll pay for it.
Yeah, I ain't one of them.
No, we ain't.
No, I wanted. All right, the Celtics. I mean, we'll talk about this game against the Bulls slightly, but more so talking about the Celtics because they got Jabari Parker, which happened after last week's show. They signed him, and he's gonna be another rotation guy off the bench because of the game that happened against. Who did they play? Against the Lakers. They played the Lakers. They had a 27-point lead. The starters got taken out. Time for you bench guys to get in, and they let the Lakers get the lead back down to 5, and they had to put the starters back in, and then after that, they made the move to sign Jabari Parker. Mo Wagner got waived, and in his first game, he had 11 points in like 12 or 13 minutes. I'm like, if this dude's healthy, he'll be the best bench player they got because this guy was supposed to be the next thing. And just injuries derailed him in situations. But the dude can put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I like Jabari. I think he had 8 against the Bulls, which isn't bad, 4 for 7. Granted, the Celtics, Tatum just started awful. That's really was. The bench didn't bring too much to the table. But
we've been talking about the bench for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, but if Tatum would have played well, they'd have won that game. So I'm happy Jabari Parker's out there just because, he brings a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming off the bench, size, rebound, can shoot.
Yeah.
Could even handle the ball.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a good addition. I'm not sure if it's enough, but it definitely puts him in contention. But I do like how the Celtics are playing in regards to people finally understanding their roles. Because I always said it. You're a Brown guy. I'm a Tatum guy. It's not a problem. They're both great. But I think they showed in the past week who's number 1, number 2.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing wrong with that because Tatum's number 1. He's that guy putting it up, and Jaylen Brown does more than Tatum. So there's nothing wrong with that. And
they're the best 1-2 combo.
If they can figure that out and keep that consistent, and when it's time to put it up, put the numbers up, then I feel like we could make that leap.
They just need a damn third option. They need a third option, and they need a damn bench. They gave up. They blew a 27-point lead. How do you blow a 27-point lead with like 5 minutes or it was like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game? Like, how do you do that?
Injured?
Kemba's always in and out of the lineup. That's another issue with this team.
Because he's been playing better. So I'm like, if he can play well in the playoffs. And these guys could make that leap, which I think they're starting to make, which I was talking about Tatum and Brown.
But besides that, it's not going to happen this year, though. Cause they don't match up with. They just don't match up with the Nets.
Hey, you never know. It all depends on who's on the court. So if they can't stay healthy, then we'll see. It's all about who's on the court.
I don't know. I like their chances because I think they can beat the Sixers and the Bucks this year. Yeah, but
see who's on the court.
Yeah, and also you see that story about Tatum? He has to take an inhaler before every game.
What is asthma?
No, this is from the effects of COVID.
Oh,
yeah. I was like, whoa. Yeah, he's been doing that since he got back from it. I was like, wow.
How long does he have to do it for?
I don't know, he's continually doing this. I don't know how long he's gonna be doing it for, but yeah, he's still. I'm like, whoa. I was like, wow.
Has he ever had any underlying?
Yeah, he was just
unfortunate.
Yeah, that was like, well.
I've also heard of people getting sports-induced asthma too. So I had a teammate.
Oh, word?
He's trying to beat me in sprints after break all the time. Didn't work out for him. And he probably with me too. Didn't work out for him. Yeah.
All right, so the story. The most interesting story the past couple of weeks in the NBA has been Steph Curry's hot streak, because honestly, there's not really that much interesting things going on in the league right now because so many players are injured and there's so many blowouts and it's almost playoff time. So,
dude, this is all you need to talk about. It don't matter who doing what. Steph out here busting.
And George Hill, poor George Hill, the other night, he told the coach that he wanted to guard Steph for the game, and that turned out to be a bad idea because I don't think he understood the assignment because
Steph hit that man with a step back at the top of the key, and I thought George Hill was gonna retire.
That reminded me when Steve Smith said Jamal Crawford put it between his legs, and that's when he knew he had to retire.
Yeah, I feel like he got to talk about that on Up in Smoke. Like he too. I see that step back. I'm like, bro, like it was a good step back. There's no way he should have got you that bad with that step back.
Yeah, and he knew it was coming too. That was the thing. That was like, man, come on, man, come on, George Hill, you should know better.
See, this is the Steph I appreciate. A lot of people like Steph when he's playing, you know what I mean, with Clay and all that, and I don't like that stuff. I like Steph that's getting buckets like AI out there putting it up, but he's the shooter version of AI right now.
Yeah. And
people are so shocked at the production. You know what I mean, his production is like, no, he's the greatest shooter we ever saw. He's just putting more shots up.
That's what I was gonna say. He's playing more. He just looked like he's back at Davidson playing with just a bunch of guys. Granted,
and that's Steph Curry that we all fell in love watching.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's doing this and they're winning. And if he's doing this and they're losing, they'll be like, okay, he's just putting up but they're winning and he's literally keeping them alive to make the postseason. But yeah, you're right. It's like because the past several years he's been a team player. He's just like he won't take certain shots, and now he's just like the green light is flashing.
That's the type of stuff I like. That's what I expect. Granted, nothing to Clay. I love watching Clay. Yeah. In the argument, I used to lean more towards Clay as a pure shooter compared to Steph.
He got better form too.
Yeah, he's the pure shooter compared to Steph, but Steph's just something else.
Yeah.
AI with a 3-ball.
Yeah, and with some of these teams, it was like you would think to get the ball out of his hands because none of the other guys are really making shots like that when he passes to them. So you would have thought the Sixers would get the ball out of his hands, but they just kept having Joel Embiid guard him on the switch pick and roll, and he kept backing up, and it was just like, okay, you're gonna back up here. I'm just gonna shoot it.
Yeah, they don't even come out to like the elbow.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, he's being a little lazy. That's what it looked like to me.
That too. So I think he broke Kobe's record of most consecutive 30-point games. I think Kobe had like 10. Kobe did it on like 2 different occasions, but. Kobe had 10. I think he's at 11. I think James Harden had like 36 or something. That was just that year. He just they had that pass the ball to well offense over there in Houston, and he was just out of his mind. But let's see if he can do it again today because I believe they're playing the Wizards either today or they're playing the Wizards tonight. So let's see. The Wizards been playing well, but
if he don't get 30, he's gonna get 25 plus.
Yeah.
The game is just the best. There's so many possessions in the game. The game's so long. And he's going to get so many opportunities.
So high pace.
Yeah.
It's so high pace.
He's going to get his numbers.
All right. Yeah, so congrats to Steph on that. And, it was also cool seeing him and his brother go at it. His brother came out firing, and Seth came out firing in the first half, getting buckets out there. And then...
My bad, Seth. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, and it was just like he didn't have a bad game. He had a good game, but then it's just like once again, big bro upstages you.
In sports, that ain't even give you no credit, dog. You better have Pops call in. That ain't right. Like, 'cause I watched the highlight. I didn't see nothing, but I think I might have seen 1-3 from Seth, but it was all big.
Yeah, they both had. I think it was like a halftime there. Seth had like 15, and Steph had 18.
Like having siblings, right? I wouldn't know nothing about being upstage by somebody he went with.
Oh man, yeah. Poor Seth, but he'll get it together. All right, let's go to some throwback highlights. What you want to see? Some throwback highlights. You want to see? You can't see it right now.
That's what I want to see.
We'll go to '94 Classical in Salem with Scooty Penn and them boys. Or you want to go to what I got? 2007. I got some classical, some old. We'll go '94 Scooty Penn, Lynn Classical, and Salem. This is Classical was coming off the state title, and they'd win it the next year. And Salem would win it the following year. But this game, the gym was packed. Stay
in the room only.
They had people on the baseline.
I know.
It was
I know.
people watching in the hallway.
And what people don't understand is the old classical was way bigger than the old English gym.
Yeah.
And they had people standing room only in the classical gym. That's crazy because there was always standing room only in big games in the English gym.
Yeah, that definitely. I went to one English classical game. It was like in senior year. Yeah, I was underneath the hoop, and I'm just like this. I can't even move. Got these 6-footers in front of me. I'm just like, bro.
That'd be a good spot behind the bench.
Yeah. That was one of those days. If you didn't get there early, good luck. All right. Check out these highlights, and we're gonna come back, talk a little NFL, and then some other stuff. Alright, and we are back. Alright, time to get into some NFL news. Alright, my thing's not working, whatever. Alright, so the Steelers made a move. They signed their coach, Mike Tomlin, to a new deal. You know, like the 50 or something years of the Steelers, they've only had 3 coaches.
Yeah.
Chuck Noll, Mike, what the heck's his name?
I forgot his name. I was talking about.
I forgot his name too, and Mike Tomlin, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to see how, given that we see so many coaches just get fired just like that, and all these we see teams have like 10 coaches in a 5-year span, but for these guys to just be consistently like 3 coaches in
I always
that
tell
span.
you, man, it's the higher ups, bro. It's all about that. It's all about. For them, I feel like the Steelers are probably like a family-oriented organization.
Yeah.
That once you're in there, you're Steeler for life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much a family-run business.
So there you go. Like when you got these other organizations that is ran by people, you know what I mean, ties.
Yeah.
Ties or shooting ties that don't really care about people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, in the organization compared to, like I said, you said that Steelers being like a family-oriented organization.
Yeah.
That's all I can say to that.
Yeah,
that's all the explanation I have for that they actually care about their people.
And it also helps that he wins. So in his 14 years with Pittsburgh, he's got a record of 145 wins, 78 losses, and 1 tie. And he's reached the playoff 9 times during that time, and he's been in the AFC title game, I think 3 or 4 times, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls.
You know what I compare it to? A mom and pop sub shop to McDonald's. Being an employee there, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure the exec has no clues who's doing the drive-thru over here on Boston Street.
Yeah.
But you know who's, you know what I mean, making your subs in your own deli.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, and it's just good that to have a black head coach be in one in one situation for an extended period of time, because you know how quick they are to give them the boot when they have one bad season.
You know what's crazy? Race didn't even cross my mind. I wish the rest of y'all would think like that.
Yeah, so
because that didn't even cross my mind. But yeah, that's one thing. Honestly, I thought it was normal for them to have black coaches.
Yeah.
But honestly, we know it's not.
No, it definitely is not. All right. In other news, the Patriots, they've signed J.C. Jackson, who signed his second round tenure. The guy had 9 interceptions last year. He led the league. I believe, yeah, he was second. He was second in the NFL in interceptions last year. He's gonna be there for another year. 1 year, $3.38 million. But it's because we gotta get paid, man. A lot of Patriots don't like to pay some players, but you gotta pay this guy because he's been productive.
I already told you, the old Patriot way is dead, man. You gotta stop paying these guys. They see Instagram, they trying to get paid too.
Yeah, definitely. And he's young, so I'm looking at it like each year his interceptions has gone up. 3 his first year, 5 his second year, and 9 last year.
Had saved enough money in the past 20 years dealing with Brady.
Yeah.
They better start dishing some of that up.
Yeah, it's always good to have, and in this day in NFL, it's good to have a lockdown defender because
You need one.
Yeah, you need one. Plus, you're going to need their defense to score too, because we don't know how the offense is going to be looking, but...
We need everybody to score.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he is correct. We
You need it from everyone.
All right. And then lastly, Aldon Smith. There's an arrest warrant out for Aldon Smith because apparently he beating some people up.
I'm ready to put somebody to sleep.
Yeah, he's turned himself in apparently. Yeah, he's turned himself in. This is an update, so it was just updated like an hour ago.
Trained martial artist.
Yeah, so he put someone in a sleeper and.
Yeah, he put somebody to sleep.
I don't know who some of these folks are that are trying these NFL players, but it's not the biggest idea because this dude's like 6'4", 2 something.
I think he did him a favor by putting him to sleep. Yeah, you might have took a nap, but you could be in a coma with your face punched in.
Maybe he was trying to give him trying to have him gather his thoughts. He was trying to
look like the Weeknd in that video.
Yeah, but these guys, y'all need to stop trying some of these NFL players because they're already crazy enough. You gotta be crazy to play football.
My whole thing is, if you're gonna try these people, just don't call them no lawyers. Don't sue anybody.
Yeah.
Just take the whooping like you deserve to take it.
Yeah.
If not, mind your business like they minding their own. Because they don't even want to be seen, let alone be harassed by you people.
Definitely.
Or peons, I should say.
And then lastly, so the guy that said Aaron Donald beat him up, it turned out it wasn't Aaron Donald that beat him up. It turned out Aaron Donald actually saved him because he was getting stomped out by 3 or 4 different people. A video came out.
They tried to AI him.
Yeah,
because he was there.
Yeah.
You're worth the most money. Let me get you.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And that video showed that Aaron Donald was actually helping them because he got them folks off of him. But I was like, yeah.
And the guy looked up. He just seen a big black.
Yeah.
That was worth a lot of money. And he thought it was a payday.
Yeah. Well, too bad it's not. But, glad that's over with. But still, I still would believe that's probably what Aaron Donald would have done to them if it was.
Honestly, Aaron Donald, man, now you know. You gave back to society and helping people. You see somebody else getting stomped out, you go the other way, bro. No, you helped. It got you in trouble. Go the other way. It ain't your job. Call 911 or something.
Y'all, let's go to Athletes Corner +1 interview with Lynn English football head coach Chris Carroll, and we're going to come back and wrap this thing up.
Can't even say people anymore.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the +1 interview, and today we have Lynn English football coach Chris Carroll here with us. Chris, how's it going, my man?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. It seems very unusual that the season starts on Friday for you guys. And, when I sit back and look, I'm like, these guys haven't been on the field since 2019. And that seems like that was so long ago.
It's crazy. When I when you talk with the kids and you say it's been a year and a half, it makes you stop and think like, wait, has it really been a year and a half? And yeah, it's, Thanksgiving of 2019, that's pretty much where you are. So from that date to April 23rd, 21, it's been a long time coming, but I'm really excited, mostly for the kids to step back on the field and play some football.
Yeah, because usually this is off-season workouts for you guys. This is getting ready for the training camps and all that, getting all those guys ready. But how just in preparation for everything, how did you guys go about things?
So yeah, I mean, normally this would be the spring season, right? So we'd have guys playing baseball, we'd have guys playing lacrosse, track, what have you. So for this year, with only a 4-game season, we had a little bit of an extended camp. But, with the way the seasons were kind of all wedged, we just took it one day at a time, really. And it was important to us to not move too fast, but also you had to kind of speed the process up. So kind of two different things there, right? But not overwhelm the kids. And from a football standpoint, it was just about getting the kids back out there, having them running around, having them playing football, right? That was the most important thing. And then the X's and O's part, we got in there, the kids, they were great, paying attention to detail, taking it one day at a time and picking up on things really quickly. So what I've told people is, as I just mentioned about, getting a lot in, but not going too fast. We only have a 4-game season. So it's not like you can build up like a normal year, right? So after game 1, 25% of the year's over. Game 2, 50% of the game, season's over. Game 3, you're getting ready for classical. So it's like you have to kind of get a lot of things in, but also not overwhelm the kids. So it was definitely challenging, but more than anything else, the kids have done a great job, bringing a lot of energy to practice and really just, working hard on the field.
And speak on the seniors too, because this was pretty important for them just to have a season, a football season, because they were so uncertain if they were even going to play. Just, how excited are your seniors just to be able to get the opportunity to play, albeit it's 4 games, but just to go out there and play?
Extremely excited. If it was 1 game, they would have put in the effort at camp and been out there and went out and play as hard as they can for 1 game. So, they're excited for the 4 games. I don't think they're looking past any game, not looking ahead. They're excited to be finishing up their careers at Lynn English and playing football. These kids, the senior class, have worked extremely hard. Really great group. So I'm really happy for them, especially to be able to have a senior year. And, these kids, not just the football players, really all of the seniors, have gone through a lot, right, over the last year and a half. And you really think about it with school being shut down for the better part of a year. And I just, I'm thankful for everyone that helped make this happen. A lot of outside the box thinking to get this season in. First game's April 23rd. So that right there tells you everything. And then for the seniors to stay committed and to lead the way, really, they're a good group, and I'm really happy for them.
And you said first game is this Friday, and it's quite the way to open the game when you have to go on the road to play a perennial pal at Everett. I think the last time Lynn English played Everett was we were freshmen.
I think it was. It was actually, it's funny you say that. It was my first ever game at Lynn English as a freshman. I remember going there playing. It's been a while. I think English had played Everett in between that, though. They played them once in the playoffs, a few years back before I had become the coach. But perennial power. But we're part of the Greater Boston League now, and they're a conference foe and somebody that we'll be going against on an annual basis. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We're looking forward to going to Everett. Looking forward to playing football. As I mentioned, it didn't matter who we were going to play. We would have played whoever to get back on that field.
Yeah, and you just said that you guys are now members of the GBL. How so used to playing certain opponents on a consistent basis. Now it's new, different outlook, different opponents each year. Just, how excited were you guys that, for one, you guys were able to join the league this year and not have to wait, and, getting to see a new level, new type of competition?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think that, I've grown up only knowing the Northeastern Conference, like so many people at Lynn English. And while we're definitely going to miss some of the, the past rivalries, and maybe we'll be able to schedule them in non-conference, we'll see. But we're really excited to join the GBL, make some new traditions, some new rivalries. We've played some of these teams in the past. We've had some good games with Revere over the past few years. Excited to kind of play Everett and Medford and Malden, some of these other schools. So it's exciting. And I think in terms of this year, like you asked, how excited are we? I think it was really important in thankful to be able to join the GBL this year, because I don't know how it would have looked for us if we had to try playing a season in the traditional fall too. I don't know how that would have played out. But I'm just really excited that, we were able to wedge this season in, and albeit a shorter season, just really excited to be out there and playing a new conference when the kids be playing football.
In your review I know you don't have much game tape to work on from this year, but looking at their roster and some of the guys they have coming back and some of the guys on their team, and if we watched some films from the last time they played, what are some things that you kind of noticed, or that you've been trying to look at to see where you guys can go and take advantage, or just to see how they match up with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very good football team, very athletic football team, good size. They have a new coach as well. So, when I look at their 2019 film, you compare the roster, you see the athletes, you see the players that are returning, but you also recognize that there's a new coach that wasn't coaching in 2019, at Everett. So a new system, in place, whether it's similar, whether it's different, we'll find out Friday night. But, we just want to play our style of football. We want to go there and, it's the first game for them, first game for us in a while. And I think that, I definitely impressed with their athletes, definitely impressed with, their size and how they were physical in the 2019 season. But, also excited for the opportunity to, open up at Everett.
Yeah. And also you guys have a turnaround as well of some, you guys have a new group of players. Some of the guys that you had, they moved on. They moved on at prep school or college. You guys also have a turnaround that you guys are getting new guys acclimated, and just talk about how they've been able to accept the roles that you guys have been giving out to them.
They've been earning them. While we did have some turnover, we also have a good size senior class returning with experience. So guys who have been in the system, 2-3 year starters who were able to lead the way and lead the younger group, and maybe some newer starters, guys coming into a new role, maybe guys that were sophomores in the previous season who are now juniors who are stepping up in the varsity role. It's been really relying on that experience to lead the way, and the kids have been buying in. They've been there working hard, asking guys to step up and contribute in different spots, and I think there's a level of excitement there for the opportunity. But also having that nucleus back, when I think of Anthony Timmons and Ryan DeWan, guys that were 3-year starters for us. Jesse Maggs has been in the system. He started some games for us as a sophomore. And then, those 3 guys are all captains for us. And then there's a couple of the captains, Nolan Mulcahy and Greg Gomez, who were also started as sophomores. So they know the system. They know the expectation. They've done a great job leading the way. So that's definitely helped. It's helped because of the short season, and really you want to keep moving forward. So you need to rely on that experience to kind of keep moving on, keep the guys moving in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. And also one thing I did notice was when your assistant coaches, Kenny Green, he really had them working all this time, even during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. He really had them out there staying in shape, just getting out there, getting the exercises as socially distanced as they could and as safely as they could. Really had them out there just getting outside.
And as best we could, right? I mean, there was, within the appropriate restrictions, within the appropriate limitations that were set forth, the kids, I think that's part of what I'm trying to say on this is their own motivation has helped this process. So, with a year and a half off between seasons, if you weren't doing anything, it's going to be a tough go coming back at it, right? It's a long time to be off, especially when you're used to having, some type of organized workouts. But the kids, self-motivated, good leadership, were able to work out, as you mentioned, with Kenny on their own within the given limitations, and they did a really good job. I mean, some of the kids came back in really good shape. Really well conditioned, and of course there's still a transition, right, to working out to then playing football every single day. The way your body reacts, bumps, bruises, etc. But they've done a really good job, despite kind of they could have had excuses not to, I guess is what I'm saying. And I was happy with the self-motivation from a lot of the players.
Yeah, and lastly, this 4-game season, but then right after the season's over, you guys have a quick turnaround because you got to get ready for the summer camps and the summer conditioning. And that, talk a little about that, just how this year's going to shape, because I don't know what's going to happen in the fall, but I'm sure it's leaning towards having a normal football season in the fall. But just talk about this whole, this 4 games and then the quick turnaround.
It's pretty crazy because right now you're so focused about just getting, you have to be back out there. You're happy for the kids to be playing football. And then, like you said, the season will end in May, which you're normally kind of gearing up for 7-on-7s, summer conditioning, all these things. So, there'll be a short break of some sort, right? Because it's the spring sports that will kick off. But then you're right back at it, as you mentioned, getting ready for the fall. And I guess all we can assume is that there's going to be a regular season, as you mentioned. And I think we're all hopeful that there will be. So I think, with an appropriate time off for the kids to let their bodies heal after a quick but intense, really 7 weeks of camp and then football, and then right back at it with the new group, right? Seniors kind of moving on to college, new leaders are stepping up. The younger kids are now, that transition from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior happens almost, it seems like overnight, right? One season ends, a few weeks off, whatever it is, then you're right back into it. Now there's new groups leading the way. So it's going to be interesting. Like anything else that's happened over the past year and a half, you make the best of it. You make situations based off the information you have, and you kind of just go with it. But with this group and the excitement we've had, I'm really not worried about that. I'm extremely excited to get into game 1 and then, play this season and then take it from there. But it definitely will be an interesting situation.
Definitely. Now, please tell the people game 1, what time it's at and where it is at.
Game 1, Friday, April 23rd, 6 p.m. at Everett.
Awesome. Are they allowing fans there or some type of fans, or
I do not know. I think my assumption is that it's 2 people per kind of team member, player / coach. I'll have to confirm that as as we getting ready. Probably confirm that today, tomorrow. We had a scrimmage, and that was kind of what we had done. It was 2 per person. But that's been kind of what I've been hearing. But I know every town, every city is different. So we'll find that out. Hopefully, I'm hoping that the kids' families are able to see in a socially distanced atmosphere. So we will see.
Definitely. And you guys will be streaming games?
Yes. One of my assistants working on how we're going to live stream games. I'll definitely let you know. Okay. As the week goes on. I'll send you a text.
All right, no problem. Chris. Thank you once again, man. I always appreciate talking to you. And make sure you guys go support the Lynn English football program and these 4 games that they have. You guys been watching the Plus One interview. Have a great day. And we are back, man. All right, let's go around the world of sports. We're going to start off in Major League Baseball. The Red Sox are 12-6 on the season. First in the AL East, they defeated the Blue Jays the other day 4-2. On Monday, I should say, Xander Bogaerts hit a 3-run homer. And this Red Sox team is looking really good.
It's nice out.
We talk about that, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's been nice. It's been nice out. And the Bruins, they've won 5 in a row. They defeated the Sabres 2-0 the other day. I think it was yesterday. Yeah,
I ain't got nothing cool for that. Bruins just keep on winning.
Yeah, keep on winning. 26-12-6 on the season, and they're on the ice again Thursday when they play the Sabres. All right, Jordan Reed in the NFL, he's retiring. He cited effects from concussions throughout his career. He wanted to come back, but he felt lingering effects, and he was he just called it quits. And good for him, because he really had a string of concussions that messed it up.
I'm just glad he was able to recognize that he needed to stop.
Yeah.
Before it's too late.
Yeah.
Some people ignore those signs and go out there and they don't end up so well.
Yeah, don't want to end up with CTE at 30, 38 or something, or 40. Don't want to be one of those guys. All right, and some other NFL news. The NFLPA, they approved the first position helmet. So these helmets are made specifically for offensive and defensive linemen. It's going to help to reduce concussion. Concussion rates the last 3 seasons were down 25%. lower than the previous 3 seasons. So
I didn't know they got concussions like that.
yeah, so the helmet is like the way they did it is like something with the front and the side because of the impacts that they have. So it's
They're just now doing this?
I think that this is something that they've been working on because I swear they did something similar to this or did like a test trial or something. But
You would think due to each position,
Yeah.
they cater the helmet due
Especially-
to your job and what you deal with every down
especially linemen.
or possession, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially linemen. All right, some NCAA news. Jalen Suggs, he declared for the NBA draft. No surprise at all. I mean, he's gonna be a top 2 pick. He's either gonna be 1 or 2.
I was kind of hoping he stayed 1 year, man.
Me too.
To play with Chet, man.
Me too. Yeah, his teammate from high school, Chad Holmgren, he's committed to Gonzaga. That's what I thought too. I thought he was gonna stay.
Oh, but he can come back though. But he ain't coming back.
No,
come back.
Suggs, he didn't sign with an agent yet.
No, I'm just saying you're gonna be top 3 pick.
Oh.
Top 5 definitely. You ain't coming back.
Oh, he's not coming back. No.
Why would you waste your time coming back?
Also, other Johnny Juzang, he's entering the NBA draft, but he won't sign with an agent, so he's number 50 prospect right now, so he has a chance. He'll test the waters, and if he likes what he hears, he'll come back. If not,
50 plays better than Johnny
I
Juzang.
don't know. You know, they add the European players, and they
I
get
don't
like,
care.
yeah.
We didn't see March Madness, let alone what he was doing during the season.
All right. Duke's Henry Coleman III. He's transferring. Don't know where he's transferring yet, but he's transferring. But I mean, he averaged 1.1 points per game last year in limited minutes.
As a freshman?
Yeah. You know, the transfer portal is crazy. I just saw so many names.
It's because, honestly, it's the entitlement. Granted, you're good, but there's always somebody better than you. Sometimes you gotta just wait a year or two and flourish and understand the system and get improved in it. Like,
So many freshmen too is transferring. Just
granted, he'll transfer somewhere and do his thing, but man, sometimes I don't know.
I don't know either, man. It's crazy, which is what I understand why Roy Williams said, "I'm out of here." MMA Usman versus Masvidal. Masvidal. Sorry, I can't pronounce
I
his
think
name.
it's Masvidal.
Yeah. They're fighting this Saturday. This is their second go around, so it should be a good fight. Both of these guys are pretty entertaining and good fighters. So whoever has it, I'm gonna watch it. But all right. And lastly, high school sports update. Lynn English soccer, they finished with a 2-2 draw against Malden the other day. Lynn Classical defeated Lynn Tech. So this is soccer I'm talking about, 2-1. St. Mary's football defeated Bishop Stang 21-7 over the weekend.
I never heard of
I never heard of them either. Kip defeated Essex Tech 39-7 on senior night last Friday. Congratulations to all those guys. Congratulations to Ademide Badness. He was named Max Preps Player of the Year. I think they made that announcement. I think earlier this week or last week. I figured. Congratulations to them. He hasn't made his decision on what he's doing next year or where he's going next year. So we'll wait on that. Maybe he'll have it for me on Tuesday when I talk to him. We'll see. But let's go to NBA Top 10 before we get up out of here. Check this out. All right, and we are back at it. All right. Yeah, the show went by quick. We got it's that time of the year. It's kind of Lynn English and Lynn Classical Football. They start their season. That one is kicking.
I was about to shoot. Oh, it is.
Lynn English Friday at Everett. Lynn Classical hosts Revere at Manningfield this Friday. So good luck to both of those guys. It's a 4-game season, but as long as they have it, especially for the seasons, for the seniors. I think we're forgetting something. We're probably forgetting to make fun of somebody. I don't know, but whatever. Make sure you go check him out, Mr. Burton 23 on Instagram, Mukala K on Instagram, lyntv.org. Go to the website, Facebook page, Lynn Community Television. Make sure you check all that stuff out. Yeah. Oh, and I was gonna say something about the youth football nonsense that be going on. But have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to y'all next week.